If you guys are looking for any cheap and reliable coins, check out mmopo.com. Use the code PINGU at checkout to get 8% off. Hey guys, welcome to Season 2, Episode number 6 of the Derby Crowd Live. And to start off this episode, we're currently 9th in the table after 8 games. We're doing quite well, in my honest opinion. Maybe slightly better than we should be doing, especially after that last game in the previous episode. If you did miss it, go back and watch it. But yeah, we won 9-1 against Everton. But I did explain why that did happen. It was, when I did break it down, it kind of made a lot of sense. And other than that one result, I think the results have been pretty consistent. Winning by only 1 goal in the other 3 victories. So, yeah, to kick off this episode, we do have the Leeds United game, obviously a big rival of ours, and they're currently bottom of the table with 1 point. So, it would be nice for them to get relegated, of course. I think this 4-2-3-1 with the narrow formation was much better in the last episode. Obviously, we lost the Leicester game, but that was mainly down to the red card for Fernandinho, who's obviously back from suspension now. And we will put Tom Lawrence back onto the bench. He's a nice option to have. Obviously, can play anywhere behind the striker. He could even play striker if you really wanted to. So yeah, we'll get him back up to fitness. A bit of downgrades here and there for Wayne Rooney. Obviously, I'm not going to be using him too much this season just because of those physical stats obviously just getting really, really low now. And I don't know, it would have been kind of nice just to keep using him and try and break the Premier League all-time scorer. Just try and overtake Alan Shearer. I think he's about 60 goals behind, so I'd still have to score. I'd still have to do like another 3 seasons and score 20 goals a season. So maybe slightly unrealistic, but yeah, let's go into this game against Leeds United. It looks like they've made a few signings, and it will be a very interesting game. Here we are then at Ellen Road against Leeds United. Obviously, not Ellen Road because EA didn't scan it because of COVID was their excuse. But I don't know, I kind of feel like it should have been done since they are a newly promoted team. But nevertheless, looking at their team, they've got Rodrigo up front, very good striker indeed. Kind of similar to the Vazquez. I think that's like the kind of, maybe Rodrigo's even better than Vazquez if anything. But they've got Jabba on the left, then Costa on the right, Shackleton, Basuma from Brighton, Kane, no Calvin Phillips. Oh, Calvin Phillips is at centre-back. Didn't even see that, but yeah. Calvin Phillips and Liam Cooper, then Davies and Loriente at right-back, then Meslier in goal. It's obviously that 4-1-4-1, which we haven't played against yet, so it'll be interesting to see how we do. Obviously, Fernandinho coming back in for Max Bird, just because I just feel like Fernandinho needs to be. If I don't play Fernandinho, then he'll just deteriorate in stats. Right, with the ball here, chance to slip Cabral in. Really nice run. Can he get the finish though? With the shot and with the goal, it's literally the first time we got the ball in the game. I think Leeds kept it for about the first 10 minutes. I want to actually check the possession stats. As you can see, Leeds have had the ball for 80% of the game. We pick it up in about the 10th minute, go on the attack and score straight away. So kind of shows how possession really isn't that important in football. And I see a lot of people's arguments at times like, our teams had a ball like 70% of the time. But it's what you do with the ball. It doesn't matter how long you've got it for. There's a goal for Leeds to make it 1-0. Literally zoned out for a minute just thinking about something, and they score a goal with Jamie Shackleton. I don't even know what I was doing. That was like itching my nose, and a little bit of a zone out there from myself. I was just thinking about something. Yeah, ball from Fernandinho nicked, and quick one like triangle passes there, and they get back into the game. I do apologise about that. I was just literally just thinking about something else and just trying to stop the attack. Leeds on the attack here with Basuma. Try and wake up a bit now and hopefully not concede a second goal here. He has gone around Fernandinho, and again, good interception though from Christian Bielik. I do consider whether moving him to central midfielder would be a good move, because he's so good at centre-back, and obviously we have a number of centre-backs anyway. There's a chance here for Joswiak if we can get him in. Can he get the finesse shot off? Yes, he can, but Meslier with the save. A keeper that was suggested last season, but obviously because he plays for Leeds, we can't sign players from rival clubs. So I kind of like that feature. I think it's slightly realistic, but at the same time, there are stipulations to that. Like there's a number of times where players have gone to rival clubs, but it is quite rare. Can we outpace Liam Cooper here with Vazquez? It seems like we can. Can we slip it into Cabral? Yes, we can indeed, and that is a really good counter-attack again to make it 2-1 and to get us back into the lead. A good goal again for the big number 9. I kind of want to call him C9 instead of R9 because it's Cabral, because he is that. He is like, once we get into 5-star skills, I don't see much of a difference between them. Obviously there is a difference, but in terms of FIFA, very similar in style. Chance here for Leeds with Rodrigo, dinks the keeper, and it's gone into the back of the net. Like, the Leeds attacks are super quick, and literally out of nothing they just pull it out of the bag, and the Spanish international has made it 2-2 there. Obviously a nice passing play, as you can see. I just went across with Bielik, and then Fosu-Mensah didn't quite read it. Ramsdale comes out, and it's a very efficient chip shot, and I do like that chip shots are good this year. Like, the last 3 or 4 FIFAs, I don't think you've ever been able to do chip shots unless the keeper's miles off his line. So I do like that feature this year. Just went with the ball back to Fernandinho, inside to Cabral. Obviously he is potentially on his hat-trick, but he has slipped it into Vazquez with the shot, but saved. There's off-time against Leeds United at Ellen Road. Of course, it has been a very tough game, and as I said in the past, playing teams in the relegation zone are much more difficult than teams actually towards the top of the table, but it seems like they're quickly replying to whenever we go into the lead. So if we do take the lead again, we will need to hold the ball a bit to prevent them from scoring again. Chance here for Leeds with Rodrigo. It's gone through on goal. I don't know what Ramsdale's doing. What's my keeper doing there? Watch Ramsdale. Goes near post. He gets the ball and then just runs out of the way and leaves the net. I didn't press a right stick or anything to move my keeper there, and the game's just gone. Oh, we'll move the keeper out of the way. Look. Second he gets the ball. I don't know what this game is sometimes. Like, when things like that happen, I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? It's like, unless I should have just brought the keeper out, but then I probably would have been shit. I don't know. But I definitely didn't press right stick to move the keeper then out of the way. And yeah, again, Leeds United with a good goal to make it 3-2. On to Cabral here. Can he get Vazquez through the middle? He's just about intercepted it from the defender. Somehow missed the target. How has he gone and done that? He was on his weaker foot, in fairness. But could have done with getting the goal and get us back into the game. Chance here for Leeds, through with Shackleton. Back to Jabba, but blocked by DeAndre Yedlin, but it's gone straight back to Jabba, and they do make it 4-2 there. And yeah, as I said in the last episode, I don't think the difficulty is... I think my Elgato's just died. Chance here from the corner. Obviously we are quite good at corners this year, with Cabral in the middle. Hopefully he can get his head on it. He can indeed. Into the back of the net, and they get, as I said, like, corners are an actual strength of this team now that we have got Cabral, and of course that is his first hat-trick, I believe, for the club. Unless he got one against Everton. He probably did, because we scored 9 goals. But I'll have to have a look. But yeah, hat-trick for today, and yeah, I saw a few people like saying that Cabral wasn't the kind of player that I needed, but I'm kind of glad that I stuck to my guns and went for who I wanted. Obviously, I'm the one passing this ball around, so I know what I need up front to get the best out of these teams. So if we can nick a late equaliser, then that would be absolutely fantastic. Joswak in a bit of space now. Oh, can't quite cut through. Through for Damari Gray on the volley, but blocked by the defender. Chance here over the top for Rodrigo to run through. Probably going to chip the keeper, and he has made it 5-3 in the final minute. We were just going for that final goal to potentially equalise, but Rodrigo gets the hat-trick. It'll be interesting to see who gets the match ball. I'm sure it's the person who gets the hat-trick first who gets the match ball, but maybe because Leeds are at home, and obviously that hat-trick for Rodrigo has made the difference between the two teams, he may win it. There we go, full time. Unfortunately, it is a loss, 5-3 to Leeds, and Rodrigo does get the match ball. Yeah, it's interesting. I always thought it was whoever got the hat-trick first, but I guess it's whoever's on the winning side with the hat-trick, maybe. Yeah, it was a pretty end-to-end game, in fairness. Both teams had very good chances, and obviously Leeds coming out on top. As I said, the teams in the relegation zone are just ridiculously harder compared to teams that are actually good. But I guess it's a realistic scoreline as long as we're like winning and losing games, and it makes it interesting. Bit of development here for Graham Shinnie, going to move him to a left wing back, and then obviously it gives us the option to potentially play him there whenever needs be, and he can obviously still slot into the central positions. It will take him an extra 15 weeks to move to a left back, and I don't think it's quite worth it really. I might as well just keep him as a left wing back. To move him back to a CDM only takes another 4 weeks, so I do quite like this new system of player positioning. It just adds another dynamic to the career mode. I will put Lawrence onto the bench though, because obviously he will be, if you compare him with Maxlow, obviously Maxlow's much better, like plus 10 pace, plus 2 defending, but the physical side of Shinnie is quite nice to have, but obviously because Blow is still quite young, he will develop and outshine Shinnie in the future. So we've got the delegated deal for Ida to Ajax until the end of the season. Obviously he's a player that isn't exactly playing too much now because we have got Cabral, Delap and a number of other strikers that could come in, so yeah, getting him to potentially there, that would be quite interesting. Offer withdrawn for Lee Buchanan. I don't remember seeing that. Maybe it was there, but I genuinely didn't see that, and unfortunately we've missed the opportunity to move him out on loan. Loan offer for Hutchinson, and unfortunately the deal for Cabango has been pulled out from, so quite interesting to see. The thing is with Hutchinson, the only reason I did him was because it's a signing that happened in real life, but in terms of this career mode, it's actually quite I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to be a player that I'm going to use. We used him occasionally last season, but as he is only 62 rated, not exactly the best. So I will just accept the loan with the option to buy. Is a short-term loan because obviously it'll go through in January. As long as it's 50-50. Just try and get there. It's only 1.4k wages, and they're literally. You really like that? There we go. And a 500k transfer sum, so I will accept that just because I don't know if they will accept it anyway, and as I said, he's a player that I'm not too fussed about. He's not playing for Derby. He's mainly an under 23 signing, but might come into the first team eventually throughout the season. So as you can see, Cabral is the top goal scorer in the league with 11 goals after 9 games. And I will actually have a look and see what his return is on the stats. Has he got any assists to add to that as well? He has got. Oh yeah, because he didn't even play every game because we signed him quite late. So he's only played 8 games and scored 11 goals and 1 assist in that time. So yeah, I think he's doing really, really well. Obviously, only 1 clean sheet so far for Ramsdale. It's an area that is going to be very difficult this season just because of the difficulty. But as you can see, bit of growth to Cabral going to a 79. Joswiak to an 81. I don't know if we can. There we go. I don't know if that was a bit of a bug. Who else has grown? Somebody else has grown. I literally just saw it. Matt Clark has gone to a 77 as well, which is good to see because he's not even playing too much. Bird going to a 77 as well. Cabango to a 67. And I think that's about it. But yeah, as I said, like it's nice that Cabral's hit the ground running, as he is a big signing, of course. And our next game is against Fulham, who are just below us by 1 point in 13th position. So at the minute, you know, the mid-table objective is quite realistic. So I think it's pretty achievable. Obviously, Tom Lawrence on the bench for this game against Fulham might get him a few game time. Didn't play him in the last game just because obviously we were kind of chasing the game and I didn't want to bring in a player that didn't have the best of stamina. Here we are then for the evening game against Fulham. They are playing a 4-2-3-1 just like us, but they are playing the wide variation. They do have Rodek in goal. Cyrus Christie against his former club. He should technically, well, both Christie and Knockout should be on loan at Forest. Although realistically, yeah, they'll be back at the club now, so in a way it makes sense. But obviously those transfers didn't happen on the game, but did happen in real life. They have like Lamar Marchant, Bracari, I don't know. Apuku at left wing back, Felipe Augusto at CDM with Harrison Reed, Cabano on the left, Tom Kearney and Mitrovic up top, obviously, are very, very powerful. And maybe I could have done with Matt Clark for this game. Although Fosu Mensah is still quite strong, I think Matt Clark's got that slight edge. And obviously we don't need the pace because they are playing Mitrovic up top. But nevertheless, let's see how we do. Bottom side here to Fernandinho. Can we slip it into Cabral? Yes, we can. Going to just wait for Lucas Vazquez, but I can't quite get it through. Onto the edge to Fernandinho again. Cross to Jason Knight, who has got a decent shot on him. Can he find the corner, though? Good save from Marek Rodak. Obviously, Areola probably ended his loan now, so has gone back to PSG. Chance to get a corner in, though, which is a bit of a OP tactic. And as you can see, it nearly went in. I was about to say it did go in, but it just flew over the bar from Cabral. Bit of a 50p head there, but... yeah, the corners this year, like with Cabral in the box, like in that back post area, you know, at least 50-50 of the corners are going to lead to goals. I'd say for Cabral, can he go through the defence with a bit of pace, with the finish now into the back of the net, and obviously because he's in absolute form, everything that he hits at the minute seems to be flying into the back of the net, and the big CR9, not CR9, AC9, he'd be AC9, wouldn't he? Bit of a... I don't know. He very much reminds me of R9, so that's why we're going for that C9 tag, and that is his 12th goal in 9 games, which is ridiculous. And I wouldn't, you know, we do need to think about selling players in January if we are going to replace players, because we're not going to have any boost of money. And if we're going to want to make signings, we're going to have to think about, do we sell someone like Cabral if he's banging in goals like this? Like we could easily get, we could easily double our money basically from what we invested at the start of the season. I'm not too convinced about Yedlin at right back, but we don't have that many options. Obviously, Byrne quite similar, quite an attacking fullback, but they have got a corner here with Mitrovic. Not quite clear, but just about. Literally spamming the X button then. Chance here over the top. Maxlow going through from the defence. Can he slip it across for Cabral to make it 2-0? Yes, we can. And there we go. The difference between home and away games is night and day. You know, at home it feels like we're playing professional, maybe world-class difficulty. When we play away, it's definitely ultimate. So yeah, obviously Arthur Cabral with another goal. We're going to be saying that a lot this season, like we did with the lap last year. It is a bit of a shame that we haven't been able to play a bit more with the lap, but you know, to make up those 9 ratings difference now, maybe 8 actually, because I think the lap's 71, but to make up those 8 ratings difference would probably take us an entire season. So that's the only thing about playing young players, is the development. It's almost good in a way. Maybe we sell someone like Delap, because getting him to that next level, as you can see, we're going to make it 3-0 here, and it's the different. Like playing against Leeds was difficult. This is an absolute walk in the park, and we're scoring goals for fun here. Lucas Vazquez there to get the goal to make it 3-0. But where's that Fulham defence? Just massive gap, and yeah, we do get his 4th goal of the season. And I don't really want to change the sliders, because I think because we've made it, basically when you're at home and you get the first goal, the away team will go ultra attacking and not have much at the back. So that's why we're finding these games rather easy, like this one in particular in the Everton game. But when maybe the away team scores first, the game is just completely different. So it's one of those that obviously we're just going to have to take the wins when it's like this situation, but I very much doubt Fulham are going to get back into it. Mitrovic in the box here, slipped in for Kearney, good save from Ramsdale, but we do give it straight to Harrison Reed there with Fosu Mensah. Probably could have just fully cleared it. I tried to pass it out to probably Jason Knight, but as you can see it just got intercepted, and yeah, they do make it 3-1 there with Harrison Reed. First goal of the season for him, and maybe Fulham will switch on now. Now that Fulham have got their first goal, they seem to, yeah, as Lee Dixon's saying, they've got control of the game now in a way. They seem to be much more solid on the ball and much more likely to score another. Here's half time against Fulham then, and we are currently winning 3-1, and definitely since the goal they seem to have got a much more foothold on the game. Like they seem to be actually passing the ball around and looking likely to score, so we do need to be careful not to concede a couple of goals and lose the 3 points. Fulham on the attack here, as you can see they have got the possession now just to pass it around, and Mitrovic with the back heel there, but Fosu-Mensah blocks it straight back to Mitro. Great save from Ramsdale with his feet. I think he has actually got the saves with feet trait, which does make him a very, very good goalkeeper, especially once he does get to over 80 rated. Chance to get the ball into the box. Chance here for Kearney in the box. Got to be careful not to concede here, but it looks like we will, and there you go. It is 3-2 against Fulham, and with 30 minutes to go now, as the commentator's saying, the impossible might become possible. I've just brought on Tom Lawrence, which maybe I shouldn't have done because he is a bit low on match sharpness, but I do want to get him back up to back up and firing, of course. But we do need to be careful now not to concede the next goal. Injury to Bielik, and he's not in position now. Big Mitro's put an elbow in him. Oh, that's a great ball from Ramsdale. How has he found Cabral with that? That is unbelievable, and that is literally out of nothing. I've just booted the ball up the pitch with Ramsdale. I want to watch that pass again. I want to watch the pass from Ramsdale because that is unbelievable. It's because of basically the new way of stopping the counter attacks. But obviously I was getting closed down here, so I was like, I'll just boot it out. And that is an unbelievable pass. And maybe something that EA haven't considered. Obviously this is less likely than what was happening previously, where you would just basically run through on the counter attack. But that is a unbelievable pass. Like the way it curls, like he's kicked it over there, and then it's just going through for Cabral on his weak foot, puts it into the back of the net and wins the game. I don't think Fulham can score 2 now. There's full time against Fulham, 4-2 in the end. Obviously the second half was much more tough, but again another hat trick. I think back-to-back hat tricks for Arthur Cabral. Gets the goal, gets the goals to win the game, of course. Makes the difference. Lucas Vazquez with 1 as well. But yeah, that goal at the end with Ramsdale getting the assist was unbelievable, really. Great ball over the top, and maybe a bit of luck that it did end up going to Cabral, but at the end of the day, football is a lot of luck at times. Loan offer from Fenerbahce for Cabango. I think we will just accept this, since that's pretty much what I'm looking for. He is obviously 67 rated now, but we did get an injury to Bielik in that last game, but I don't think it's happened. Nothing's happened basically, so he will be available for the next game, which is good to see. I think against Everton, but at the minute we are 10th in the table with 15 points after 10 games, so doing quite well. Loan offer for Ivan Martinez from Dijon. I think we will accept that. Maybe just negotiate just to see what the wages are. Maybe I could have done without Cabango, but yeah, just getting the loans over the line just means we can thin out this squad, of course. Maybe just a 1 year, maybe just a short term, or maybe just accept it and then I can recall him whenever needs be. At least I've got him out on loan then. I'll try and get that wage to maybe a 65-35 if anything, if it's a 2-year loan. We'll go for 60-40 now, and hopefully this gets over the line. Seems like they're sticking at 50-50 there. Can we just get that 5%? There we go, cool. So waiting to see if Ivan Martinez does go to Dijon. Obviously we got him on a free transfer, so if they can develop him and get him up some stats, that'd be great. Wolves with a loan offer here for Adari Biayo, obviously not playing at the minute, and I think they went in for Rodon as well, so seems like Wolves, obviously with that 3 centre-back system, are looking for players, so we will accept that, but I kind of want a bit of wages paying, since they are obviously a league rival. Well, not maybe a rival, but you know what I mean, they're in the same league as us. So if they can get 65%, they've gone to 60-40, so I think we'll accept that. Just to get them out on loan, and to get them playing some football. Of course, at the minute they're not really getting that opportunity because we have so many centre-backs. So, yeah, hopefully those get over the line. So there we go, Hutchinson has agreed the deal with the Portuguese team. Adam Ida, unfortunately, isn't going to be going out on loan. And there is a loan to buy here for Bobby Duncan, a player that he's one that I'm kind of interested in keeping in a way just to see if we can get him. He has obviously got a good potential, but it's difficult to basically get him there. So we'll go just a loan, short-term loan until the end of the season, because I kind of want to keep him just in case Derby start using him in real life. But we'll have to wait and see, of course. But yeah, going into the next game against Watford now. I don't know if Damari Gray's gone up to 5-star skills yet. That's the only thing I'm going to look for. He's gone to 5-star weak foot. Have I got him on the wrong... might have put him on a wrong development plan. 4-star skills is still quite good, I guess. So we could probably put him in for Jordan Ibe now that he is higher rated, of course. Yeah, for some reason I've got him on weak foot. So there we go. So that should be able to get him to 5-star skills within the next week or two. We'll pop him into the lineup as well. And then that way, it's more likely that the stats will go. We have had a bit of growth to Sibley to a 73, which is good to see. Nobody in the starting 11. Anyone on the reserves? It's less likely in the reserves just because obviously they're not playing. It is a bit of a shame that Rudy isn't playing, but a bit of growth to Whittaker. Again, a player that I need to get on loan, Whittaker. Like 60 rated players are okay to play in the Championship, but once you're in the Premier League, you do need a much stronger team. So next opponents are Watford, again another team in the relegation zone. So it'll be interesting to see how we do against those, of course. At the minute we've got 25 goals and 23 conceded, so in terms of goal difference we're doing quite well. And yeah, 15 points. I think as long as we're not, I don't know, as long as we're not flying into like the top 6, then I think I'll leave the difficulty, because the difference between not getting relegated and Europa League is obviously like quite a few positions, and I very much doubt that we're going to be able to catch the likes of like Chelsea or Man United. So I think the difficulty is perfectly fine for the time being. So let's go into our final game of the episode against Watford. Obviously a team that were promoted with us, and looks like they have made a few signings. Of course they do play the 5 at the back system. I don't know if we've got any other former Watford players to play against the Royal Club. Here we are then at Vicarage Road against Watford. Obviously a promoted team with us, so it'll be interesting to see how many signings they have made. They're playing the 5-3-2 with Dalberg in goal. Obviously we do have Ben Foster on our bench now, obviously because we have Ramsdale, Femenia and Sema at the wing-back positions, then Craig Dawson, Saliba from Arsenal, and Troost Ekong, and then Octavio from Porto in the midfield, so that's a new signing. Cleverly, Capu, João Pedro and Pussetto up top. Obviously a few guys have suggested João Pedro, something I might look at if Watford are relegated. Obviously just makes it a little bit easier to sign the players, of course. So yeah, let's see how we do. Chance here through the middle for Damari Gray. Is he onside though? I think he is just about. Has he got the finishing ability though? He does indeed, and we do make it 5. We do make it 1-0 in the 5th minute. I don't know why. I was about to say make it 5-0. But yeah, really nice start from him on his starting debut, I guess. Obviously he's made his debut for the club, but I think it's the first time that we have put him in from the start. And yeah, really nice way to hold his run, and a good finish into the back of the net. Obviously he's got a player face, which makes him a little bit more slightly more interested. I'm not too fussed about player faces because obviously Cabral doesn't have one. We do need to be careful though not to concede quite quickly, because in that Leeds game obviously we went into the lead away from home, but then quickly they did equalise, so it does seem like the computer does switch on. Right, with the ball here into Cabral, can he turn Dawson? He can indeed, with the finish into the back of the net, and he does make it 2-0 there, and getting the second goal away from home is very important indeed, just to secure that lead. And yeah, obviously Watford aren't going to be one of the weaker teams this season, as they are a newly promoted team with us, with Dalberg in goal, obviously because we signed Foster from them. It's one thing that the computer could be a little bit more intelligent at when a major player gets taken out of the team. There's occasions where, especially I think goalkeepers is the particular one that you notice, because obviously when they've gone from like a 78 Foster to a 66 rated Dalberg, it's obviously a big downgrade. Chance here with Cabral. He has got the 5-star skills now, so he's basically R9, and he is running through on goal now. Can he make it 3-0? Yes, he can, and what a player. If you guys haven't tried this guy, give him a go, because he's got everything. And it'd be interesting to see if his pace stats have gone up. Obviously, he's got the +4 at the minute because of the inform and everything, but in terms of his actual acceleration, yeah, it's definitely gone up, because it was about 74 and 75. But like nearly 80 pace with 87 strength, really good ball control and dribbling, incredible shot power. That's a really important factor. And having the flair and power header trait is just unbelievable. I do need to change his development now to get him to 5-star weak foot, and yeah, we've basically got a baby R9 on career mode, and it's unbelievable that I've not heard more about this guy. Obviously he plays for Basel in the Swiss league, so not exactly heard too much about him, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, he's one of those that in real life I like to keep the eye on players like this, because they are so good. And as you can see now, because we're winning the game 3-0, we're going to make it 4. Well, I should have made it 4, but for some reason he put it on his weak foot. Chance here for Vasquez. Can he make it 4-0 on his strong foot now into the back of the net? And there we go. To kick off the second half, we have made it 4-0. And I think what I'll do is basically just rest players up, especially Fernandinho, because he has got not the best of stamina. I'm almost tempted to take off Knight just because of the yellow card. We don't want any suspensions to come, so we'll bring him off as well. I don't know who to rest up front. Maybe just Cabral, just to get him fully fit for the next game and win that one. Yeah, the combo with Vasquez and Cabral is a new one, and it seems to be on absolute fire at the minute. As you can see, both of them, I think, with the same boots pretty much. Similar boots anyway. Yeah, gets his 5th goal of the season for a player that I wasn't too fussed about signing. Has made a good impact. Ball into the box now. In the header, and there into the back of the net to make it 4-1. I want to say cleverly he's done that. No, it's Craig Dawson. Good header from the centre-back, of course. And we have just brought on Leon Delap for Cabral just to rest him up, of course. But as you can see, ball into the middle, and yeah, just got wrong side of the man, and does make it 4-1. Chance here for Watford. They have gone through with Pericua. They do make it 4-2. Maybe an outside chance they are thinking about a comeback. Yeah, just got intercepted with Fosu Mensah, and he went through on goal and scored. Watford on the attack here. Got to be careful not to concede another goal and make this last 10 minutes a little bit interesting, of course. Just want to get the 3 points over the line. Chance here in the box. Passetto goes around Fosu Mensah, and that's definitely not what I want to happen. They do seem to have got a foothold on the game now, and yeah, I kind of got sold the I thought he was just going to take the shot, to be honest, but yeah, cut inside past Fosu Mensah, and we've got about 9 minutes now just to hold on. Chance here for Watford on the edge, gone past Fosu Mensah. I'm just committing too much. Good save though from Ramsdale in the last minute. And then we go full time against Watford, a 3-4 win in the end. Although we went 4-0 up, obviously Fulham, Watford did manage to pull it back with 3 goals in the game, and just made things quite interesting going into those last 10 minutes. So yeah, obviously we had to be very, very careful not to concede a 4th goal and throw away the 3 points. There we go, Cabango has gone to Fenerbahce, and we have got an interesting one here from Newcastle, and it is a management position, and I never realised that you could get these. I don't know, maybe you have. I just can't remember. Have you had these in the past? Obviously we're going to reject it, because this is the Derby career mode, not the Newcastle career mode. We've got a few players here in the youth squad. I will release a few though, that any players that are pretty much under 50 rated are absolutely useless and never going to be needed. So yeah, in terms of ratings, they're okay, but again, I'm just not fussed about players that aren't real. I'd much rather sign real people such as Liam Delap, and develop those. So here we go, the loan for Martinez has been confirmed, so we have got a few players now. We've probably got a bit of money going out of the club in terms of wages once those deals obviously go through in January. So the loan here for Adari Bayo, the player that we call him Tosin. I think I heard Scott Parker do a interview about him as well, and he would never say his surname, he would just say his first name, because again it's just super difficult. So I think they've come agreement there, so it's down to Bobby Duncan whether he goes out on loan. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got anyone else going out on loan? 5. I think 5 players going out on loan, so that's a good amount once we get to January, of course, which isn't actually that far away. You may think it's far away, but it's actually quite closer than you think. But yeah, in terms of the squad depth, it's an area that obviously just offloading as many players as possible would be good. Although I think I said basically I'm not too fussed if we get rid of basically all the centre backs that are down in these reserves here, because we've got Rodon, Cabango and Tosin all going out on loan, but we still obviously have Lee Buchanan, Brown and Fernandinho can always go back to centre-back if need be. So I'd rather in a way have a thinner squad and have more money to invest in better players. So Jordan Ibe does want to play the next game against Crystal Palace, and we have got a number of players out on international duty. Damari Gray called up for England duty with Aaron Ramsdale, good to see. Simula to Finland, Graham Shinney to Scotland, Ida to Ireland, Bielik to Poland, but not... Kamil Jozwiak's not being called up, but Bielik has. That is very odd indeed. Timothy Fosu-Mensah to Netherlands, and Otto Cabral has a Brazil call-up, so that's good to see. Hopefully nobody gets injured on international duty, but it's weird that Jozwiak hasn't been called up, but Bielik has. Obviously Bielik has grown to an 80 rated player now, so that's really good to see. His defence, and Fosu-Mensah to a 78, I think. But yeah, like really good Bielik. Like absolutely solid at the back there. Pretty much an ideal centre-back. And I don't know what we actually need. Like when we do go to January, I don't know what we would sign, because we're doing super well at the minute. Max Lowe also going to a 76. It might be a right back, just because Yedlin's not going to grow anymore. He's a good right back, but he's not going to grow anymore, and defensively he's not the best. But yeah, in terms of the squad, like I'm super happy with everything at the minute. I can't have any complaints for any of the signings that we did make. And yeah, we're currently 10th in the table with 18 points. Next opponents are Crystal Palace, who are down in 16th, just above the relegation zone. So yeah, we've got a double amount of points they've got, so just shows how well we're doing this season. With obviously 29 goals scored this season, we are the top goal scorers in the league. But defensively, obviously, we do concede quite a few as well. We are actually only 3 points off 5th, which I wouldn't mind, just for the, the longevity of this career mode. Obviously, the end goal is to win the league, or win the Premier League, or win the Champions League. That's the kind of goal for this career mode. But obviously, because we do need to finish mid-table, I do need to obviously keep up a good run of form, and obviously getting those clean sheets away from home. I might need to look. One thing I did actually make, I don't know if I showed you guys, I made a 5 at the back formation, a 5-4-1, and maybe playing this away from home will just give us a little bit more defensive stability. So maybe that's what we can look at. Obviously we are just starting the month of November now, so we've got this episode, wow, that is a clustered December. So we got this episode, well, the next episode will be these 3 games. Then we go into December, and we've got Norwich, Liverpool, and Newcastle. Then we got another episode, which will go up to the Wolves game. So we're only like 3 episodes away from the January transfer window. So if you want to start suggesting some signings, it's probably right back. And I think we all know who the probable person will be that we sign. It's probably Jayden Bogle. I just didn't want to sign both Bogle and Lowe at the same time, pretty much. So, yeah, obviously at 74, rated pretty decent, and obviously at 21, very easy to grow in stats. Let me just see what his defender. Yeah, not the best defensively. He's kind of Yedlin, but younger. But it would be nice to bring him back to the club, of course. And I think goalkeeper we're perfectly good with. Centre mids I'm happy with. Wingers I'm really happy with. And me, I don't know, like, we don't exactly need a striker unless we get an injury to Cabral. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Make sure you do leave a like rating if you did enjoy it, and see you soon. Bye.